movie games are notoriously mixed bags, more often than not being plain old cash grabs capitalizing on recognition. But every now and again, we get a movie-based game that is actually better than the movie. I'm talking The Warriors, King Kong, and that Wolverine game. That being said, Alien vs. Predator Requiem on the PSP isn't one of them. Based on the worst movie ever made, this game quickly became lost to time. So why am I playing this now? Nostalgia. I wanted to play this as a kid, but I never owned a PSP. So here we go now. The introduction. The game starts off similarly to the movie, with the Predator ship crashing down in Colorado, only for some facehuggers to survive the crash and lay down some pipe.
No, don't do it.
This starts an illegal alien invasion, which we have to stop. I think we take on the role of Wolf, who's tasked with containing the outbreak in the movie. And I say I think because not only does he not look like Wolf, but as you'll see, the story itself deviates from the movie quite a bit. They somewhat keep the beginning and ending, but everything else is pretty much new, quote unquote, making it seem like you're just another Predator with the same mission. Now, in most AVP games, you're given 3 campaigns to choose from: Human, Alien, and Predator. But here, we get all Predator all the time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just kinda goes against decades of pre-established expectations. That's all. So to keep with the AVP style, they do give us 3 different paths: the suburbs, the underground, and the industrial, all which lead to the same final mission in the end. The suburbs path seems to be the most accurate, since it takes you through most locations featured in the movie, so we'll focus on that. And as far as the story goes, well, there really isn't one. Like I said, it loosely follows the movie premise with how it starts with the ship crashing and the lone Predator having to get rid of evidence. But from there, it's completely its own story, if you can even call it that, because there's no real plot connecting the levels aside from stopping the illegal aliens from taking over America. Not in my town. What the fuck, idiot? The first mission has us piss away some facehuggers and get rid of some Predator tech. That's gonna blow. Huh? Guess not. And I'll admit, despite the limited control scheme, it's all pretty intuitive. The lack of right thumbstick means the camera is fixed straight ahead. But we do get some movement with the right and left bumpers, allowing us to look side to side, along with the lock-on, which makes the camera pretty dynamic. That said, the tutorial windows don't last more than a second, so I did have to rewind my recording just to figure out how to lock on, so that kinda sucked. Button to counter. If I get knocked to the ground, just press X. Press triangle to enter. Oh, what the fuck? That was even faster. We finish our trek in the woods by blowing up the Predator ship. Wow, what a harrowing escape. Which leads us to an alien-infested cemetery, where the US Army has started making moves. We try to lend a hand, but considering we're also illegal aliens, that isn't appreciated. Shit. No. Oh, fuck. So we butcher everyone there. Now, as far as the weapons and combat goes, you start off with your plasma caster and wrist blades, but unlock new weapons as you complete levels. All weapons are, in theory, upgradable using your honor points, which you earn through killing enemies. And in theory, this sounds amazing. The promise of customizable upgradable gear is an exciting concept reminiscent of Concrete Jungle. But in practice, it's a piece of shit. You're not actually able to choose what you upgrade since it just does it itself. Not to mention, you stop unlocking weapons after your 3rd mission, all which come at their fully upgraded forms, which totally defeats the purpose of the upgrade mechanic, if you can even call it that. The weapon variety is pretty cool to start, but after a few missions, you realize that they all boil down to lock on and shoot, with the only exception being the staff, which has one of the wonkiest looking moves, but honestly, it's a vibe, and I'm totally here for it. Dude, he just broke his back. Let's do that again. What? But I digress, because we take a wrong turn, ending up in the sewers. Uh-oh. Where we recreate that one scene from the movie, but we can actually see what's going on. This takes us to the back streets, where more of those damn illegal aliens have started settling down and taking factory jobs. They took a jab! So we have to stop them. That, and there's some Predator tech that we need to destroy, so we get to work. This is by far the most vertical level in the game, allowing us to get pretty high. No, not like that. There's no actual jump button, so it does it automatically whenever you're near a ledge.
Oh my god.
Despite the air, it all feels pretty grounded, but I do appreciate the traversal. Now, being patriots and all, we try to help out the fuzz, but end up getting a little trigger happy.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Uh-oh, sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
But further into town, we catch a glimpse of the cavalry rolling in as the illegal threat is only escalating. Things get pretty desperate for them, so we try for another team up, though it's short-lived.
Corporal, no!
You killed him! Ugh! We also try to help the troops inside, but like usual, they don't appreciate an alien stealing their job. But back outside, Predator-human relations have soured to the point that we're confronted by a literal tank. This requires weaving in and out of buildings, where we're still tasked with destroying the Predator tech. You'd think it wouldn't matter anymore, since the whole town is pretty much overrun, but it just goes to show that aside from pissing away facehuggers and blowing up Predator tech, there really isn't much to this game. Most missions can be summed up as pushing a button that opens an exit. I mean, this sewer path literally has a level where the only objective is to clear out some poo-poo. That's all I'm gonna say.
Was that poo-poo water? Oh.
Regardless, we stay hopeful and do our job, crushing the tank in the process and allowing us to head deeper into town. From here, all paths ultimately culminate with a hospital visit lasting 2 missions long, where similarly to the movie, the aliens have set up a hive. But since we don't want no damn illegals multiplying, we're tasked with blowing that shit up. The penultimate mission is just us getting to the hospital, though it is pretty action-packed, so at least it has that going for it. After which, you get one last unlock in the form of a handheld caster.
Bam, 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 bam. Oh, that's sick. I love that. Oh, hell yeah. That goes hard.
Which, while cool as hell, makes every other weapon pretty much obsolete. He does look baller as hell capping alien ass, so I can't complain.
Say that again.
We make quick work of the aliens, setting up a bunch of mines in the process, and as far as the set pieces go, the hive-infested hospital was actually pretty cool. It sure beats the suburbs or the sewers. But with all the mines set to blow, we take the elevator out, only to come face to face with an Apache attack helicopter. Not what I was expecting, but considering the tank we just had to deal with, I guess it doesn't feel too much out of place. This fight is pretty simple, especially with our handheld caster, which literally melts steel beams. The only real worry is avoiding its fire and the sudden waves of aliens. It doesn't take too long to Black Hawk down the bastard.
Gotcha, bitch.
Allowing us to escape, where we take the quickest way down, setting off the mines for a fiery escape. Nothing like a race-motivated genocide to end the game. But with that done, we skip town, only to notice some unusual movement. An alien queen emerging from the rubble. But we also notice the 3 nukes making contact, so it's pretty much the end from there. And that was the game. Now, if you're familiar with the movie, which I'm sorry if you are, you probably feel like something is missing. And that's because it is. There's not a single mention of a pred alien anywhere in the game. You know, the whole reason for the second movie. The closest thing to a mention is at the very beginning, where we see Scar's body in the main hangar. Though, again, it's not even him. I thought they might be saving it for the end, like a final boss kind of reveal, but that was obviously not the case, because the best it could do was an Apache attack helicopter. I hate that the Pred Alien was the best thing about the movie, and the fact that the game didn't even touch on it. It's gotta be one of its biggest failures, and at this point, you might as well just ditch the small town and make it its own separate thing from the movie. I really wanted the paths to save this game for me. I was almost expecting the ending to be different depending on the paths. But like I said before, all paths lead to the same Apache attack helicopter in the end. There's semblances of extra content, like one mission in the sewer path, someone implies you have to protect the humans from aliens, but it doesn't really go anywhere or even matter, so there's no real incentive to keep playing once you finish a single path. Not to mention, the handheld plasma caster you unlock for the last mission makes playing through the other pads feel like nothing more than an exercise in pressing the X button, or whatever you shoot with. To make things worse, there's a general lack of enemies during the first half. This shit is literally more barren than your mom, because when it comes to engaging with the Xenos, more often than not, you'll just get pseudo jump scares of aliens running past the screen and then disappearing. No actual fighting required. The aliens themselves aren't very smart or threatening. A lot of the time they'll just stand still and wait for you to shoot them. They do get a little saucy with the lunging attack, but you can quickly counter it by pressing X. I guess we do get a tougher variant, but not until the last 2 missions, which at that point was a little too late. They're meant to be Praetorian guards, but they still go down way too fast to make them memorable. On the human side, they're pretty much non-targets, since you actually lose honor if you kill them.
It will fail if you kill innocents. Why? What is this?
But considering how empty the game feels, killing them becomes some of the more immersive parts of the game. The only humans you won't lose honor for and are actually encouraged to kill are the military, which is kinda shocking since I was expecting their inclusion to be some sort of US propaganda, which, yes, that's a huge thing in games and movies. Just look at Transformers. And honestly, that might still be the case with how we had to deal with the tank and the helicopter in the end. And in retrospect, the lack of gore and overall brutality that you come to expect from the franchise definitely detracted from the experience. I was really hoping for some sort of executions or something along the lines.
If I can't execute, oh my god, you're kidding me. It won't let me execute. That's horrible.
But no, it all feels really neutered, which isn't something you want from an AVP game. So when you add everything up and you realize there's only 3 enemies and the lack of campaign and overall objectives in the game, it just makes you wonder what the point of making this even was. Spoilers, it was money. Despite it being developed by Rebellion, the team that established the series as a video game staple, the tight deadline and studio influence seem to be the biggest factors as to why the game turned out so meh. Now, as far as I've gathered, development for the game seemingly began in early 2007, meaning they got less than a year to fully develop this hodgepodge of nothing. It didn't help that it came out a whole month before the movie, which not only cut development time even more, but it's also the main reason we don't get to see a Predalien. You see, Tim Jones, head designer of Rebellion at the time, goes on to talk about how protective Fox was with the IP and the direction of the game, which also gives some deep insight into why we got what we got. Fox is very protective of their franchises and takes great care to make sure it is treated properly. We had to work within strict confines to remain consistent with the movie, and everything we did had to be approved by the studio. There are also some key story differences between our game and the movie, because Fox didn't want the entire plot given away before people see the film at the cinema. You get an entirely different ending in our game. Yeah, no shit. Basically, Fox didn't want us to see the hybrid, which, that's fucking crazy. You can't even see it in the movie, so they definitely succeeded with that. Again, it's not like everyone didn't know or expect the Predalien. Like I said before, that was the whole point of the sequel and the main reason I was excited for both the game and the movie. But no, we can't have anything nice. I just wanted the hybrid, you damn tease. So yeah, I'll give the game the benefit of the doubt and claim studio intervention and a rushed development as the prime reason why it came out the way it did. Now, I feel like I've been pretty negative, and that's probably because it's a crap game. That being said, there are aspects that point towards what could have been, the skeletal groundworks of a better game that just wasn't meant to be. So here are some golden nuggets that stood out in the flowing shit river that is AVPR. The weapons. While pretty basic, I love the weapon selection. It doesn't change combat much, aside from the handheld blaster, but having the ability to customize your arsenal is always a plus. The graphics. Aside from the poo-poo looking opening and closing cutscenes, the in-game graphics are actually really good, especially for a 17-year-old handheld system. It's pretty amazing how far that little console could go. And lastly, the kid angle. You see, the basics are there, and I don't doubt that kid me would have thoroughly enjoyed the quantity over quality approach. Yeah, it's all the same, but the novelty of playing as an overpowered predator is definitely appealing. Okay, I'm out of good things to say. I guess the Queen was pretty cool overall, and the bonus Horde mode is some free extra content, so I do appreciate that. But look, this could have been a good game. Given more time and freedom, we might have gotten something as good as the AVP mobile game, which, to my surprise, is everything this needed to be and more. It actually had an upgrade system that went beyond weapons and into character specs. There's a dual story that lets you play either as an alien or predator. It's brutal as hell, and you can even play as a alien. I mean, could you even ask for more? Well, in this case, you definitely could, because what we ended up with was a rushed and watered down nothing burger with semblances of what could have been, making me kinda sad. But that's gonna do it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know, were you guys unfortunate enough to own this at the time, or is it lost media? But yeah, if you like stupid trash like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Stay Poochie, and I'll catch you on the next one.